Australia is a land of contrasts, with a unique population distribution. Most inhabitants cluster along the coastal fringes. Cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are vibrant hubs. The interior, known as the Outback, remains sparsely populated. Coastal areas offer temperate climates and trade opportunities. This pattern of settlement continues today. Before European colonization, the Australian interior was not an empty space. For tens of thousands of years, Indigenous Australians thrived in this challenging environment, developing a deep understanding of the land and its rhythms. Their intricate knowledge of the flora, fauna, and water sources allowed them to live sustainably, moving across the landscape in harmony with the seasons. They were not merely survivors, they were custodians, shaping and managing the land through sophisticated practices like firestick farming. Indigenous Australians developed complex social structures and rich cultural traditions that were deeply connected to the land. Their stories, songs, and ceremonies reflected their intimate relationship with the environment, passing down knowledge and wisdom through generations. The arrival of Europeans disrupted this ancient harmony, displacing indigenous communities and introducing new land management practices that often had devastating consequences. The impact of colonization continues to be felt today, with ongoing efforts to recognize and restore Indigenous land rights and cultural practices. Despite the challenges they faced, Indigenous Australians maintained a deep connection to the land, their culture and traditions enduring through generations. Australia's interior is characterized by its aridity, a vast expanse of desert and semi-desert landscapes. Rainfall is scarce and unpredictable, temperatures soar in the summer months, and water sources are few and far between. These harsh conditions create a challenging environment for both human habitation and agriculture, contributing to the low population density of the outback. The land is ancient, sculpted by wind and water over millions of years, resulting in a unique and often breathtaking topography. The lack of reliable water sources is a significant factor limiting settlement in the interior. Rivers are often ephemeral, drying up during periods of drought, and groundwater can be difficult to access. Despite the harshness of the environment, the outback is home to a remarkable diversity of plant and animal life. Species have adapted to survive in these extreme conditions, exhibiting incredible resilience and resourcefulness. Kangaroos, wallabies, and emus roam the plains, while reptiles and insects thrive in the arid landscape. Understanding these challenges is crucial for developing sustainable strategies for future development in the Australian interior. Water is the lifeblood of any ecosystem, and in the arid Australian outback, it is an especially precious resource. The scarcity of rainfall and the unpredictable nature of water sources pose significant challenges to both human settlement and the survival of native flora and fauna. Traditional Indigenous Australians developed sophisticated methods for managing water resources, demonstrating a deep understanding of the environment. They knew where to find water during droughts, how to harvest rainwater, and how to conserve this precious resource. Their knowledge and practices offer valuable lessons for contemporary water management in the outback. Modern approaches to water management in the outback include the construction of dams and reservoirs, the development of efficient irrigation systems, and the exploration of groundwater resources. These initiatives aim to provide a more reliable water supply for agriculture, industry, and communities. However, it is essential that these projects are implemented sustainably, taking into account the potential environmental impacts and respecting the rights of Indigenous communities. By integrating traditional Indigenous knowledge with modern technologies, we can strive to create a more water-secure future for the outback. The vast emptiness of the Australian outback sparks debate about its potential for future development. Could this land, with its untapped resources, support a larger population? The challenges are undeniable, but so are the possibilities. Imagining a more populated interior requires careful consideration of environmental, social, and economic factors. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind power could play a crucial role. The outback is a land of opportunity with unique challenges and potential. The future of the Australian outback must centre the perspectives and rights of Indigenous Australians. They are the traditional custodians of this land, with a deep spiritual and cultural connection to the environment. Their knowledge and experience are invaluable for shaping a sustainable future. Respecting their rights and incorporating their voices is essential for the land's well-being. Indigenous Australians have lived in harmony with the outback for millennia. Their traditional land management practices promote biodiversity and maintain ecological balance. Learning from their practices is crucial for a sustainable future. Developing the Australian outback presents a complex balancing act between economic opportunities and environmental protection. The region's unique ecosystems are fragile and vulnerable to disruption. Any development must be carefully planned and managed to minimize its impact on the environment and ensure the long-term health of the land. Sustainable development principles must guide decision-making, balancing economic growth with environmental stewardship. One of the key environmental concerns associated with development in the outback is the potential for habitat loss and fragmentation. The introduction of agriculture, mining, and infrastructure can disrupt delicate ecosystems and threaten the survival of native species. Water management is another critical environmental consideration. The outback's limited water resources must be managed sustainably to ensure that development does not exacerbate water scarcity or degrade water quality. Sustainable development in the outback requires a holistic approach that considers the interconnectedness of economic, social, and environmental factors. Afforestation, the process of planting trees in areas where there were previously none, has emerged as a potential strategy for transforming the Australian outback. Proponents argue that large-scale tree planting could help to increase rainfall, mitigate climate change, create new economic opportunities, and restore degraded landscapes. One of the key benefits of afforestation is its potential to increase rainfall. Trees release water vapor into the atmosphere, which can contribute to cloud formation and precipitation. In arid regions like the outback, increased rainfall could have a significant positive impact on water availability and ecosystem health. Afforestation could also play a role in mitigating climate change. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, helping to reduce greenhouse gas concentrations. Large-scale tree planting could therefore contribute to Australia's efforts to reduce its carbon footprint and combat climate change. However, the feasibility and potential impacts of such a project require careful consideration. Technological advancements are opening up new possibilities for shaping a more livable future for the Australian outback. From renewable energy technologies to innovative water management systems, technology has the potential to address some of the key challenges facing the region. Advances in renewable energy technologies such as solar and wind power are making it increasingly feasible to power remote communities in the outback. These technologies offer a clean and sustainable alternative to fossil fuels, reducing reliance on expensive and environmentally damaging energy sources. Innovative water management technologies, such as desalination and water recycling systems, are also playing a role in addressing water scarcity in the outback. These technologies can provide reliable access to clean water for communities, agriculture, and industry, reducing pressure on limited water resources. Precision agriculture techniques, which utilize data and technology to optimize crop production, can help to improve agricultural efficiency and reduce environmental impacts in the outback. These techniques can help farmers to make more informed decisions about water and fertilizer usage, maximizing yields while minimizing resource consumption. The future of the Australian outback hinges on a vision of coexistence and sustainability. This requires balancing economic development with environmental protection, respecting Indigenous rights, and fostering a sense of shared responsibility for the land. A sustainable future for the outback requires a commitment to renewable energy, responsible water management, and innovative agricultural practices. It requires investing in research and technology to develop solutions that are tailored to the region's unique conditions. Creating a more equitable future for the outback requires addressing the historical injustices faced by Indigenous Australians. This includes recognizing and respecting their land rights, incorporating their knowledge into decision-making processes, and supporting their self-determination. The Australian Outback is a land of vast potential, a place where innovation and sustainability can go hand in hand. By working together, respecting Indigenous knowledge, and embracing technological advancements, we can create a future for the Outback that is both prosperous and environmentally sustainable.